happy to be with you all here this morning in Pstars Radio. The time is now 10:25 a.m. and it is a lovely morning. At least where I'm at. How about you guys though? Depending on where you're at, depending on where you are, what you're doing, talk to me. How's your day going so far? How's your morning? How's the family? How's life? Etc., etc. I want to hear all the good stuff, because I'm sure we all go through a bit of challenging times, right? With maybe work life, school life, dating life, whatever life. We all go through our issues and all that sort of stuff, right? But we want to make sure we don't let those issues take over the majority of our day. So again, please talk to me. Tell me, how's your day going so far? How are you keeping up with your mental health, your physical health, all your health? Right now, are you managing it properly? Are you taking care of it? Don't let your situations that are pushing you over the edge make up your entire day. Always be sure to take care of your health, take care of your mind, take care of your soul, take care of your body. Do as much as you can to manage that as much as possible, right? So, yeah, I'm happy to be with you here this morning, and I hope you're happy to be here with me as well. I feel good. I feel really good. By the grace of God, I've been able to get through this week, perfectly fine. Right? I just got through doing finals for one of my classes, and by the grace of God, I was able to get through that. The semester is almost over classes are almost over for the semester, right? We're approaching the end of the year, so get classes out of the way, get finals out of the way, get all of that out of the way, get a little bit of a mental break, right? Because we all need that sometime. We need that mental and physical break. So, granted, I'm thankful that God has been able to get me through this semester for college and to prepare for next year and everything that comes with that. So, yeah, I'm grateful. I hope you all are grateful as well. And, I'm going to do what I usually do, as I usually do, is give you everything that I can give you in the sporting life, the sporting industry, the chaos, the drama, the juicy stuff. I'm going to give you all the juicy stuff, or at least what I think might be the juicy stuff. But, so I'm going to start off with this. We are getting closer and closer to this year's in-season tournament finale, right? We have already gone through our group play-ins for the NBA, and now it seems to be that we have now finally reached the knockout rounds for the quarterfinals of the in-season NBA tournament Emirates Cup. Now, with these candidates that we have set in place for this year's Emirates Cups, we have for the East, the teams that have secured this spot will be the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks, who will be going against the Orlando Magic for this year's Emirates Cups. We also have the New York Knicks, who will also be going up against the Atlanta Hawks for this year's Emirates Cups quarterfinals. And these two matches are going to be happening for the East. And now what we have for the West is the Oklahoma City Thunders will be going up against the Dallas Mavericks for the quarterfinals. And then we also have the Golden State Warriors, who will be going up against the Houston Rockets for this year's quarterfinals of the NBA in-season tournament. Now, in terms of speaking about the match between the Warriors and the Houston Rockets, because as you may already know, as you may or may not know, I'm a Warriors for life, people. I am a Golden State Warriors fan for life, and I think, what am I talking about? I don't think. I know that we will take this year's NBA in-season tournament cup. I'm that confident. What can I say? But yeah, we had a field day because our contestants, the Rockets, we already had a match with these guys last night, and we had a field day with them. But I'm not gonna lie, the Houston Rockets seem to be doing very well so far for this year's regular season in general. Now, it may just be because of Ime Udoka, the head coach, putting these guys in the right spot, right place, setting them up for success, setting them up for a very good season, because Ime Udoka seems to know what he's doing. He seems to have all the characteristics and everything that you will need in a head coach to take a team where you want them to be. And yeah, I'm not going to lie, the Houston Rockets seem to be doing very well so far. Very, very, very well. If I'm not mistaken, hold on, because they're sitting at a very good spot for this year's win-loss ratio. Hold on a minute. Let's take a look at this real fast. So yeah, the Houston Rockets are doing very well. So they have a win-loss ratio of 15-8, and they're literally sitting at the second seat of the Western Conference. They're doing very good, and unfortunately, us, the Warriors, are sitting at the fifth seat. We were sitting at the first seat in the beginning, but no worries, no harm, no foul. We will make our spot back in the first seat of the Western Conference until we make it all the way to the NBA Finals. But for now, as of now, the Houston Rockets are sitting at the second seat of the Western Conference with 15 wins and 8 losses. So they're doing pretty good. They're doing pretty good so far. And yeah, so these guys that we will be going up against next week on the 10th of December will be our moment to see who will be eliminated from the quarterfinals and who will advance to the semifinals of the NBA in-season tournament. So, I for one am excited. I'm excited. I can't wait to see how this will go. Again, as I already told you, I think we're gonna make it all the way. So we're first going to get rid of the Houston Rockets, and then once we do that, whoever wins between the Thunders and the Mavs, we'll take care of them too, and then we'll make our way ultimately to the finals of the in-season tournament NBA Cup. So keep an eye out for that. Keep a watch for that. And then if I had to guess, or if I had to predict who we might go against in the East, or against the East for the NBA Emirates Cups, it might just be, we might end up going against the Bucks. I don't know. This is just my personal guess who we might go up against in our matchup for the finals, but it might just be the Bucks. I might be wrong. Who knows? We'll just have to find out. But I also wanted to bring up, it seems to be that the Lakers and the Pacers will not end up having their matchup, or their rematch, for the in-season tournament, considering that they are not a part of the quarterfinals anymore. It seems to be that the Lakers have been eliminated from the quarterfinals, and the Pacers have also been eliminated from the quarterfinals as well. Now, it would have been entertaining to see some kind of push for another comeback year for the Emirates Cup. Granted, maybe not for the Lakers because they won last year, but it could have been a comeback year for the Pacers, considering that they lost last year against the Lakers. But it seems to be that these two teams will not be having their matchup or their rematch again for this year's in-season tournament. Hey, there's New Year's, new results, new outcomes. It is what it is. But yeah, that's that for the NBA in-season tournament. Now, moving forward, we want to turn our attention to Nikola Jokic. And Nikola Jokic seems to have made a historic achievement. And this kind of historic achievement is something that I'm not very much so surprised about, because I keep bringing this up every single time with his skill set and his experience in the NBA. Nikola Jokic having triple doubles is at this point not even top news anymore. This is exactly what Nikola Jokic does. Every single game, at least in my opinion, he shows up and he shows out. Right? Triple doubles, left, right, front, center, back, everywhere. This man is always coming through with triple doubles like it's easy. And for this year, he's made a historic run to now become third for most triple doubles in his entire career, passing Magic Johnson. Now, Magic Johnson, during his time in the NBA, him making triple doubles was also an easy thing for him as well. But now it just seems to be the case that Nikola Jokic has now passed him, making himself third now, with the most triple doubles in his NBA career, and he's now sitting at 139 triple doubles. Now, hold on a minute. If I'm not mistaken, Russell Westbrook, because I brought up that Russell Westbrook has also made a historic run, making a lot of triple doubles as well. Now, I don't remember if that's more than what Nikola Jokic is making, because Russell Westbrook has made a lot. Yeah, actually, yeah. Russell Westbrook actually has way more triple doubles than Nikola Jokic does. Russell Westbrook has 200 triple doubles. 200. And Nikola Jokic has 139. So he's sitting right below where Russell Westbrook is at in terms of triple doubles. Granted, these guys are veterans in the league, and they make it look very, very, very easy. So again, I'm not surprised about these individuals making their historic runs for triple doubles. And again, they could continue to advance even further with their skill sets in the league while they are still there. They still have enough time while they're in the league. I still think that they're young, and I still think that they have so much more to contribute into the NBA before they make their exit. So again, I'm not shocked about this in any way, shape, or form. You know, this is something that I expected, and this is something that I also, mentioned for you all to expect as well, because these, again, are some very talented players. They're very talented individuals. And, yeah, expect more from these guys. Expect more from these guys continuing forward into the league, because these guys will not disappoint you. I can assure you that for me, they have not disappointed. And, keep your eyes peeled. Keep your eyes peeled and on the lookout for what these guys have in store for the remainder of the season. And then on that note, we could also move on to the MVP ladder for this year's NBA season, right? 2024-2025, right? And the first lineup, as you could already guess, or the player that is in the first or the top spot of receiving their NBA MVP awards goes to, well, it doesn't go to, but the person that sits there at the moment is, as you can expect, Nikola Jokic. Nikola Jokic sits at the number one spot for the MVP ladder. And then we have Jason Tatum, who sits at the second spot for this year's NBA MVP. And then for the third spot, we have Anthony Davis. Now, Anthony Davis at the start of the season seem to be showing out and seem to be proving or making a statement that either he's making his spot to receive the MVP or he's taking the team back to the NBA Finals. But he's been doing that at the start of the season, and I would say we should expect more from him, because last season, not too many people were very enthusiastic about his performance in the NBA. But this year, he wants to, in my eyes, it looks to be that he wants to make a difference coming into this season for the NBA to, who knows, prove the doubters wrong, make a statement for the fans, bring another championship ring for the team. Who knows? Who knows what his agenda might be, but that's just what it seems to be for the time being. But Nikola Jokic, right? His stats so far, his stats for the season looks to match up with where he's sitting at right now in terms of him receiving an MVP award for this year's NBA season, right? So his stats so far for this season seems to be, or looks to be like this. So he has 29.9 points per game, right? 13.4 rebounds per game, 10.4 assists per game, and 55.9% from field goal percentage. Now, these stats alone already look like triple-double stats. These stats, again, they don't surprise me, but they already look like triple-double stats. And this is going for each and every single game that he has attended and played in. So again, these stats look like they're MVP level stats already. Granted, the season isn't over yet, and this is purely for me, what I think. But these stats already look like MVP stats. And again, we are just sitting in the middle of the NBA season so far. But expect more from this. Expect more from Nikola Jokic, because he is going to deliver more. This isn't where it all stops for him. Trust me. But this is the pinnacle of what we're seeing right now from Nikola Jokic. Again, expect more. But then we have Jason Tatum, who's sitting at the second spot for this year's MVP NBA season, right? And his stats so far look like this. So Jason Tatum now has 28.4 points per game. He has 8.6 rebounds per game, 5.6 assists per game, and he has 45.4% from field goal percentage. Now, once I look at Anthony Davis, I'm probably going to have a more outlook on what I think about the standing for Jason Tatum and Anthony Davis. But hey, again, this is where they're sitting at right now. This isn't the end all be all. These things can change, right? Jason Tatum is sitting at the second spot now, but he could be going down or up in the near future. We don't know, but I'm just telling you what we're seeing as of right now. And the stats that I see as of now so far for Jason Tatum looks decent. It looks neat, considering where they're sitting at right now as a team in the NBA. I don't have a problem with it. He's competing out there. He's doing what he's supposed to do, putting scores on the board and providing his contributions to the team where he needs to be, right? Okay, so that's that for Jason Tatum. And then for Anthony Davis, hold on. Anthony Davis, we're going to take a look at him real quick. So his stats look like this: 26.9 points per game, 11.3 rebounds per game, and 3.4 assists per game, and he also has 53% field goal percentage. So now that I see his stats, I'm going to say this. I think Anthony Davis should be sitting at the second seed now not second seed, but he should have the second spot for the MVP season, or for the MVP for this year's NBA season. So it should go like this: Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis, and then Jason Tatum. Again, Nikola Jokic, Anthony Davis, and then Jason Tatum. That's how I feel about it, considering the stats that I'm looking at right now. Granted, again, these things can change. They're not set in stone. We're still in the middle of the NBA regular season, and we have a few months until we reach the playoff series and the final series of the NBA. So that's not the end-all, be-all. But in my opinion, the order that I would have it is Nikola Jokic at the top spot, Anthony Davis at the second spot, and then Jason Tatum at the third spot. If you all agree or disagree, please feel free to give me your thoughts and your opinions on that down in the comment sections down below. All of you that might be watching from YouTube, all of you that might be watching from Facebook or wherever, let me know your thoughts about the standings of where you think who should be sitting at the top spot or who should be sitting at the bottom, whatever the case may be. Let me know your thoughts on that, all right? So, moving on from that, I wanted to bring up the fact that if anybody's familiar with a player from the Memphis Grizzlies known as Ja Morant. Now, he is the star player of the team, and I want to know your opinions on this, right? So, he's made a comment, and I believe it was a recent game, that he doesn't, how can I put this? He's cutting back on dunking for the entirety of the regular season. Now, if any of you are familiar with Ja Morant, he is very, very talented, and a lot of people more so will know him for his athleticism, but more so dunking. A 6'3" player for the Memphis Grizzlies, a point guard, and this man drops monster dunks like crazy. If you don't know who I'm talking about, whenever you get the chance, go to YouTube and then type in Ja Morant dunking highlights or Ja Morant highlight dunks, whatever the case may be, and you'll see this man go crazy for dunks. This man makes absolutely insane kind of dunks, almost dangerous dunks, but he makes it almost look easy. But those are the things that he's almost known for, but he's making the decision to cut back on that for the rest of the season. I don't know how true that is. I don't know if he's going to hold up to that, but I hope he doesn't, because again, he's an exciting player to watch. He's almost known for his dunking, for him dunking on almost all his games, and I can kind of understand it. I can kind of see it, right? He wants to prioritize avoiding injuries as much as possible, and I completely get it, right? I don't want to have to hear Ja Morant being taken out for the rest of the season because of some injury. No, I don't want to hear that. I want to see this guy on that court every single time he's set to play with his team, because again, Ja Morant he's an exciting player to watch. He's an exciting player to watch for everybody, and he's a very very talented playmaker. He's very good at getting his teammates open, setting up his teammates for threes, dunks, layups, assists, whatever it is. He's very good at doing what he does. So I understand it, but I hope he's not completely serious about it, because again, I would like to see this man dunk as much as possible. That's just me. All right? But moving on from that now, it seems to be that we are making a very, very quick approach to the NFL Super Bowl that will be taking place next year on February, and we already have a couple of teams who have their spots secured for the playoffs. Yes, you heard correctly. We have a couple of teams who have their spots secured for the playoffs, and I think it's only 2 teams so far, right? It's only 2 teams that have their spots secured in the NFL Super Bowl playoffs. These 2 teams I will name off to you in a minute. Yeah, in a minute. But these 2 teams have their spots already secured for this year's NFL Super Bowl, but only for the playoffs. Hold on, man. What? NFL. Okay, so for these two teams that have secured their spot, the first team is going to be the Detroit Lions. Now, the Detroit Lions has secured their spot for the playoff rounds, but the other team that have also secured their spot in the NFL playoff rounds is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, when I hear this name, I keep thinking that these guys are making their way to the playoffs, to the Super Bowls, year after year after year. Because of the last 2 years already, the Kansas City Chiefs have made their way to the Super Bowls, and they won the Super Bowl. Now, this team, I don't know what it is. I don't know how much gas they have in their tank. But these guys are making a statement that they are not backing down because they are hungry, just like any other team. They are hungry to keep making run backs or to keep running it back all over again to the NFL Super Bowl almost 2 years in a row now. And it looks like they're trying to make a three-peat. They're trying to make a three-peat all over again. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they made another round back to the Super Bowl all over again for 2025. Because again, this team is a very talented team. Very talented, right? But then again, it might be completely different this year. Who knows? There might be another team who's able to stand up to the Kansas City Chiefs and make them get their exit so that that team, whatever that team is, whoever that team might be, can have their shine for this upcoming year's Super Bowl. We don't know yet. We're just seeing what we see right now. It's just the Kansas City Chiefs. They secured their spot in the NFL playoffs, and the Detroit Lions have secured their spot in the playoffs at the playoff rounds as well. There's supposed to be more teams coming up again for their spot to be secured in the playoff rounds as well. So you have to keep your eyes peeled for that and wait and see what the outcome might be so that we can finally know who will be going against who for this upcoming year's NFL Super Bowl, all right? So keep your eyes tuned for that. Stay tuned for that, and I'm excited. I wish I could be at one of these NFL Super Bowls. I wish, but who knows? Maybe in the future that might happen. But as of now, it looks like a hype train to me. A very much so exciting hype train that I want to be a part of. All right. So I will give you your matchup for the NBA for today, and your matchups goes like this. The Orlando Magic will be going up against the Philadelphia 76ers. The Los Angeles Lakers will be going up against the Atlanta Hawks. The Milwaukee Bucks will be going up against the Boston Celtics. The Sacramento Kings will be going up against the San Antonio Spurs. And then we have the Indiana Pacers who will be going up against the Chicago Bulls. And then we have the Minnesota Timberwolves who will be going up against the Golden State Warriors. My team, we will knock them out easy. And then we have the Utah Jazz who will be going up against the Portland Trailblazers. These are your matchups for this for today's NBA game. And as per usual, I will leave you all with the Bible verse of the day. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I will leave you with the Bible verse for today. And this Bible verse will be coming from 1 John chapter 4, verses 16. One moment. Yes, so our scripture will come from 1 John chapter 4, verses 16. And it reads, "And so we know and rely on the love God has for us. God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God, and God in them." Please allow me to read that for you one more time. And it reads, "And so we know and rely on the love God has for us. God is love. Whoever lives in love lives in God, and God in them." People, I want you to understand this, right? God has called for us to love our neighbors, love our brothers, our sisters, our friends, even our enemies. God has called us to love because God himself is love. How do we know that God is love? Well, I know that God is love by the way that he came down on this earth just to die not only for me, but for you and the entire world. That is how I know that God is love. And so because God has shown us that he's loved me, and he's presented that through what he's done for us, that is a life that I now want to follow in his footsteps by loving my neighbors, loving my brothers, loving my sisters, loving even my enemies, my worst enemies. God has called us to love. And if we live in love, we live in God. And if we live in God through love, he himself lives in us. So please, I encourage you and I implore you and I exhort you, live a life of love. Love your neighbors. Love your brothers, sisters, friends, whoever. Live a life of love. Don't allow yourself to live a life of hate, resentment, pride, none of that. All that stuff is something that the devil will try to feed us, something that the devil will try to gaslight into us, and that is not how we want to live, because as Christians, we should want to live a life that God calls for us to live. We should want to live the way that God lived, or Jesus lived when he was on earth, okay? So please, again, I encourage you all to love, love, love. Have love in your heart, and continue to support your brothers, support your sisters, support your friends in their time of needs with love, grace, and so on and so forth, with all that other good stuff, okay? So I love you all again, and important. This is very important, right? Today will be the last time that I do my shows on Friday mornings, right? This will be the last time I do my shows on Friday mornings. I will now move them back again to Saturday mornings at around 10:30 a.m., 10:30 to 11, right? So again, I wanted to let that be known. I wanted to put that out there. Today will officially be the last day that I have my shows on Friday mornings. They will now be pushed back to Saturday mornings at 10:30 a.m. All right, so that's what I wanted to put out to you guys. And yeah, again, I love you. I appreciate you all that are watching, that are tuning in, and I will see you all till then. Till next time. Bye.